Hi, everyone.
Hi.
And welcome to today's episode. We are just about to hit 300,000 viewers. Steven is busy working away behind us there on a guitar, which you've got a video coming out for that pretty soon on your channel, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So check out Steven Draws to see what he's working on. He's doing some wood carving and other kind of crazy things over there. But yeah, we are, I think, 47 viewers or 47 subscribers away from hitting 300,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you're tuning into this live feed, make sure to hit that subscribe button because when you do, not only do you get notifications when some of our videos come up, and we put a lot of care and effort into trying to entertain you all with our lives, and what we're up to. It also helps people kind of understand and take our, YouTube takes you more seriously, I guess, when you have more subscribers. So it helps us out that way too. So subscribe is what I'm saying. It helps the whole gang out. But more than that, enjoy today's chat. We're going to be visiting back and forth. We see some of our friends and family joining us on here too. Heather, I see you. We've got Singapore, New York. We've got Montana. We have Colorado because Heather's on. Iowa. Oh, we should have just like a big world map and start putting pins or little flags every time somebody jumps in. Winnipeg, we know Winnipeg. Texas, Pennsylvania. Hey, Kathy, there's like 3 people from Tennessee on there right now. So we are so close. According to what I see on my dashboard on YouTube, is that we're about 47 viewers away, 47 subscribers away from hitting 300,000. So we thought, well, hey, maybe by the end of today we'll get there, and we don't want to kind of miss the opportunity to thank everybody. Right? I mean, this has been an adventure.
Absolutely, it has.
Yeah, and really wanted to thank everyone who's watching and tuning in for being here with us the past couple of years. And for Melissa being so patient and understanding for all the, not only have I drug cars home.
Well, that was before YouTube.
That was before YouTube, but then we started dragging buildings home. So that is an understanding woman who will put up with the guy. You know, it should have been your first clue when I dragged the Airstream trailer home, that I was interested in having another property, another little house, because that Airstream, and for all of you, I guess maybe on this episode, I'll get into this. There's a few video series that we started, and then there's kind of not an ending to, so I'll tell you what happened with some of those projects too. But anyway, the Airstream led its way into the Potter's house, and that's what happened there.
Thank you, Arlene. She said she just asked her daughter to subscribe.
Oh, thanks. Melissa's going to be moderating, so if you see her looking down, she's not like, you know.
And we're not at the table like normal. The table's behind us, so we actually have our lighting in front of us, which is why we look a little different.
That's why we look different.
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first, I want to go back in time a little bit to our very first video. It was, I think my first video, if I'm not mistaken, was me in my store, completely bored out of my mind, showing people how, actually it might have been the video that I went with my dad to buy the record collection.
Was that your first video?
I think my first video had my dad in it. And we went to his friend Larry's house, and Larry was selling off a whole bunch of extra records, and I was just opening the store. I was just about to open the store. I hadn't even opened yet. And we went out to the country, and I took a minivan out there, and we loaded it so full that thing looked like a lowrider on airbags on the lowest setting by the time we got back. But my dad was a trooper. He visited with his friend. He got to listen to music, and I think that was the only time my dad had ever been out to his friend's house because he lived out of town. They used to always come in from out of town or into the city, and they'd go and visit and go to record shows and stuff. So my very first video, I think I'm proud to say that my dad was in it. Started off as a family adventure, and it's still a family adventure to this day. Almost every episode has the opening with Melissa and the kids, and I'll have to update it because if you haven't noticed, they're growing like little weeds. What's up with that? Why are they getting so big? Steven, what happened to you?
I don't know.
He used to be little and have a little kid voice, and now he talks like this. What? I don't know what's happened.
People are saying hi to you, Steven.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm a bit away from the camera, so I can't read the comment.
He's back there. And then, you know, I kind of, to give you the backstory on why I started the channel, we had just opened our store. And I was talking to people about paying for advertising in our city, and it was really expensive. It was really expensive to advertise. And I tried advertising in a local paper, didn't really bring a lot of business in. We advertised in at hotels all around town, they put little kind of magazines like what's happening in your town sort of thing. We advertised in there. I think we had one people. It's good grammar. We had one couple show up, two people that saw us in there. And that was like a $700 hit. And when you're just starting out in your business, that's an awful lot of money to put in when you get really nothing back. So having worked, I worked at Apple prior to this. I worked as a senior manager with Apple. 4 years. You'd think I would know technology much better than I do, but hey, here we are. I was at Apple, so I thought, well, heck, I know some of the programs and some of the editing software. So I thought, well, why not put out a video? So we started posting these little videos about products that came in, and sometimes I go on little adventures. And really, it didn't do anything. Like, we had hardly any subscribers, and I kept doing it just because it was fun, and it gave me a way to create a video mainly that I could post on my Facebook page to try and encourage people to come visit us in the store and hopefully come and buy something. So that was the intent. We didn't have money to pay for advertising. That's what it was. So I started the channel because I was trying to advertise some of the cool stuff I had in the store on our Facebook page. That's the roots of our channel.
But that also.
Oh, thanks so much, Funky Aardvark.
No rude comments today. That was pretty funny, anyways.
And what were you gonna say?
That just goes to show also, if you do end up doing YouTube or something like that, you can't be in it to think about of course, think about what your goal is, but you just have to keep plugging away. Even though there might be one person, you have to show up for that one person, even if it's your own. Oh,
I was excited. When we had 10 people, I was like, 10 people are watching our channel. That's pretty cool. That's 10 people that are interested in what's going on.
And then 50 were like, maybe these aren't our family.
Yeah. But the first video, any guesses on what the first video was that really took off for us? I'll let you guys guess, and I'll read it in the comments. So we'll see. I want you guys to guess what our first big video was. Wait, but don't say it.
But
Don't give it away. We'll see.
I mean, there's more than one. One that took off our channel, and then one that was our first big video.
Well, we had one that, nope, it wasn't the Airstream, it wasn't the Potter's House, it wasn't the Disney Cell. None of those was my first big video. Not the Disney Find.
I know.
Let's see.
I know. Can I put it in the comments?
Okay. No, it's none of that. I'm reading the comments right now. It wasn't Adam's story.
It's 8:30 here. PM.
Wasn't about hands. No. Our very first video that did well, I'm just going to give it a couple seconds to see.
Disney?
No,
some car.
Some car is really close. In fact, it was some car.
It was a car.
Do you remember?
The Mercedes.
Yeah. I went with Charlie, who is Melissa's mom's boyfriend. Charlie appeared in a few of my videos. He helped me get the Airstream. He came out and worked on the Potter's House with Hans. He was one of the tree guys. They came out and visited us. So Charlie came with me out to Winnipeg, actually, and we went out to a scrapyard. I had been out there, oh boy, probably about a few weeks prior, and I did a video where I flew to, and this video never really did that good, but it was ambitious, and I might do it again. I flew into Winnipeg and had no car and no way home, and I bought a vehicle, basically sight unseen, and I got temporary plates on it, and I drove it all the way back across the prairies buying antiques all along the way. Well, one of my travels, one of my adventures on that trip, I ran into a fellow who had a scrapyard. And in that scrapyard, he had a Mercedes-Benz ambulance. Now, this is late summer, I'm gonna say, or I don't know, early spring. Anyway, I couldn't see the bottom of the car. So I couldn't see the bottom of the car. And I really wanted that Mercedes ambulance. I really thought it would be cool. It would have been Das Ghostbusters vehicle. I don't know why. Germans don't talk like this. Anyway, it was a German Mercedes-Benz ambulance. I thought it was really cool. So Charlie and I went out there, and I kind of just chronicled us on the road, him driving along, me pesting him listening to Johnny Cash 4,000 times in a row, which I couldn't play, but he has 9 songs on his Johnny Cash Best of CD. And the man listened to it 4,000 times, probably all the way there and all the way back. Yep. So that was fun. But that video was our very first video, and it went from, I think, like 100 views to 100,000 views within a few days. And from that point, basically, we got our first YouTube check. And that YouTube check, oh, it was a big one. Do you remember what we bought with it?
We went to Boston Pizza.
Yeah, Steven remembers.
Yeah.
But we celebrated. I think it was before they had the cap. Now they hold it till you're at $100 before they release it. I think it was $30.
Yeah,
And
we
we
got
were
30
like-
bucks from YouTube.
We were like, woohoo!
we went and got
actually
pizza.
we got supper on YouTube. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I was pretty happy. That video, the first video we had up there, and I didn't know anything about, I wasn't even really fully monetized yet, and I was learning about YouTube. That
Yeah,
was
we
over
had no
2.5
clue what we were
years
doing.
ago. But that adventure just was fun, and we weren't really making a whole lot of, it wasn't about making money off of ads, which is how these channels make money. You put that commercials up and people say, why are there commercials? That's how we afford to do some of the things that we do. Helps keep our business afloat. We make these videos for free. If you see a commercial and you watch it, they pay us like a few cents or whatever it is per commercial. So anyway, we've got pizza on YouTube. Thanks YouTube for the free pizza. And we just kept going on adventures and kept at it. And now 2.5 years later and 300,000 people watching us go out and do these crazy things. I think we're very grateful and very thankful.
we did have videos before that video. That was just our first one that I think had the most views at the time. Like, I don't remember how much it got. Like, it went crazy on that video.
Or which one?
The ambulance.
Oh, I
mean,
don't.
the Mercedes.
The Mercedes, it was like a couple 100,000 views within the first month or so, and
Yeah,
that was
it was
a
meant
good
for us.
video. For us, having had videos that had like 15 views per video, to get a video that did really well. And then you're kind of scratching your head because you don't have a YouTube person helping you out. You don't have anybody from YouTube. You're just putting stuff out. You're like, blah, you're throwing stuff at the screen. And I was just doing things. I was doing my thing. And I did one, somebody said they watched me when I was going over what happened to Dinky Toys, the little toy cars. And yes, I learned not to put excessively loud banjo music in my videos since that point.
You want to know what John said? He said, shouldn't Steven be using the wood burner outside? Look at
Yeah.
my ass.
It's winter.
Yeah.
It's like minus
Oh,
something.
initially I was
cold
like, you're not
outside.
using that in my house. You need to do it outside. But he said, Mom, if it gets really stinky, I won't, he's
It
right
smells
beside
like
a
a nice
winter.
campfire in here right now.
not too bad.
It's kind of stinky a little
Our
bit.
smoke
but-
alarm's not going off, so it's not too bad.
Like a
See,
nice campfire, I swear.
I knew it wasn't just me.
Okay, so we're getting off topic a little bit, but if you want to see a sneak peek of what Steven is working on back there, you're going to have to watch one of his upcoming videos because that will be on his channel, which is Steven Draws. And Matthew, if you're so kind to put Steven's link in there so people can go and subscribe to my kid, because we're trying to encourage Steven to do this. He's at home creating, being an artist.
I have an art YouTube channel.
Yes, he has an art YouTube channel, so go check him out. We want him to do that while he's in school and focus on his education and not have to worry about going to work at a restaurant or something. So
We usually do have the exhaust fan on. It's just too noisy for right now.
yeah, okay. So that was our first big YouTube video, and from that point on, we kind of went on to do a few other things. Met a lot of wonderful people along the way, and we had a lot of fantastic folks that came into our lives. And I think the biggest thing that's happened in the past couple years has been meeting a lot of wonderful people out there and getting to know you guys, but also really getting to know the people in my community a lot better and being able to think about what I'm dreaming for and try and aim for those dreams that might have seemed unachievable before. When we had our first store, we were really eager to make that work, and we did. We made it work. It was essentially kind of a business complex, and we were in the middle of it, and it wasn't easy to find, but we made it home and we made it work. And then it became a dream that, well, maybe someday we'll get an old general store. And then one of our viewers, Jamie was one of our viewers like you, and he was watching, and he said, he wrote me and said, hey Alex, guess what we have? We have a general store that we're not doing anything with. And I went and looked at it, and it was a little bit on the small side, but I figured if we could renovate the back, we could make it work out. So we talked to our bank and they said no. And we were really upset about it and didn't think it was gonna happen, but we pushed forward and pushed, and then we made it happen. And now we have this beautiful heritage building that I would never have dreamt of owning a heritage building like this. 4 or 5 years ago, before we started the store, we never would have thought about owning a nice heritage property like that. And now we've got this wonderful building, of which I know the entire history of, back to when it was first built. And it's just so exciting to have these dreams and start feeling like we're really hitting some of our goals. So I think dreaming and being able to achieve those things has been the biggest the biggest thing that I'm grateful for this past couple of years. What about you?
What I'm thankful for?
Well, what do you enjoy about the YouTube channel?
Oh, I absolutely love the people the most. I mean, I love all of you guys for sure. It's like having your own private cheering team at all points.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much. Look, it even came with a dance. Dun, 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 dun.
He sent us a little message and had a dance on. It was very, very
I
kind.
get distracted,
Super
you guys.
chat.
Quickly though, over this way, everybody's saying it's really smoky. Smoke alarm's imminent. It's because I have the kitchen light on, so I know not to put a light behind our heads, and yet there it is.
Oh, Abigail, would you mind turning the kitchen light off? Maybe that'll help.
Let's see if it works.
Thanks, honey.
And sleeping on the stairs isn't a good
Abigail's
choice.
made herself like a little fort on our staircase.
Like with a blanket and a pillow
Yeah.
on the stairs.
She's watching from afar. Okay, yeah, you can
let's
turn
see
that
if
one
it-
off.
Is it
There
too
we go.
dark or is it?
No,
well,
I think
now
that's
we're-
okay.
We're
Let's see if I can
red.
fix
but-
Steven's hiding in the
And
background
this
now.
looks like we have a
Uh,
weird lighting situation going on.
Okay, what's our current? I don't know what our current. You guys see a different subscriber count
Oh,
on your
yeah.
end than we do. When I checked a little while ago, we were just like about 40 people or so away from hitting 300,000, and we really thought we'd do this video and kind of be grateful.
Somebody said that my dad looks like Vigo in the Carpathian.
Vigo Carpathian? Yeah, he does a little bit, especially when his hair grows out in the back, and he's like,
Dad, if you're on.
"Give me the child." When he wants to hold the grandbabies, give me the
Oh,
child.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm glowing. But I'm only glowing because of the light in front of us.
Vigo, as angry as he was a snappy dresser. I mean, that black outfit, and only Vigo could rock the spiky shoulder pads like he did. So, I don't know.
I think the other thing that I'm thankful for with this whole YouTube thing was somebody mentioned, like, do you realize how many people this has brought together? And I think that's what I'm also grateful for. Giving people hope, giving people encouragement, but then also having this huge community that we get to be, we're so lucky to be a part of. And I'm thankful every day for that, you guys, every single day.
Yeah, it's astounding to me that I can go to Colorado Springs, or I could go to New York or Tennessee or what have you, and there's people there who might know what we're up to and who we are and what we do, and we're very thankful and grateful that we get to share our lives with you and that you guys find it somewhat interesting.
I know.
You know, I look back on all the things that we did before we had a YouTube channel. And think of all the stuff that we should have had on camera and didn't have on camera. Trust me, guys, I had some amazing finds that would have been absolutely killer YouTube videos if only I had a YouTube channel at the time. But, you know, hey, we have one now.
Who knows what's in the future, though? Like, Alexander, the things that he comes home and I have interesting days, but Alexander's are always like completely, he comes home and he says, guess what I have in my trunk? Like that. And he says, it's a motorcycle. Somebody asked,
True.
did you sell that?
No, as of right now, I have it. There's a lot of folks interested, but it's still at the store. I did really have a motorcycle in the trunk of the Cadillac. It was that little tiny
Cadillac.
one. If you didn't see a couple videos ago, and by the way, I've been putting a lot of videos out lately because every day there's been something happening, something kind of worthy of putting up on YouTube. If I feel like it's just a normal day, I won't usually post it. But, you know, I'm going on pics, I'm finding stuff, there's little tiny motorcycles, I'm going to scrap yards, meeting cool people, so the stuff's ending up online. I was so busy with all this other stuff, I didn't even put up the video of me getting the Alfa Romeo finished and essentially roadworthy. I am, incidentally, and I will go back to the unfinished videos portion in about 2 minutes here, so if I
And
don't...
an update on the Wienermobile.
Okay, I'll go back to both of those things in a couple minutes, so
Yeah.
somebody remind me on there, or you remind me.
No, I won't remember for sure.
What was I talking about?
Look, see, you asked me to remind you. I remembered Wienermobile.
I
and
got
then
all off
lost.
topic talking about the things I should be
All
talking about next. Anyway, the Alfa Romeo. Anyway, got busy getting that already, and now there's that. So, Wienermobile, I will talk about that. I got
I'll hold the W.
a couple last live feed I think we did. I was all excited because there was a Wienermobile, and there's all kinds of prospects about buying that and driving that as my regular car, which I would do. I am the guy who would drive an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile as a daily driver. So somebody posted an ad. It was a fake ad. So all of my dreams and ambitions of driving a big
It was
wiener
like-
around town were lost.
Thank you, Funky Aardvark.
They probably
No,
didn't think you'd be
It was
really
immediately, you
considering
guys, after the live. I mean, immediately
Yeah.
after. He went to go and check it out and figure out, because if it was in Calgary, it would be home. And then it looked like it was in Ontario, and that's quite a bit farther.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still figuring out a way to get it home, and he's like, God, it's a hoax. But we had so many people send us the link, and the link looks legit initially.
Yeah. So,
It was
but
a
here's the story on that ad though. So I see this ad posted for Wienermobile. Apparently it went like viral, like a lot of people were talking about it. The guy this is what happened. Two guys, you know how people get into like they never met each other, but they start fighting online and it kind of escalates. You know, like when there's trolls on whatever. That's what happened. One guy was like, "I'm mad at you about your Kijiji ad or whatever, which is like an online ad," and the other guy posted his phone number and name and put this fake ad up saying there's Oscar Mayer Wienermobile up for sale. Call this guy with his phone number at any time. I don't mind. Call me in the middle of the night, basically. And so it was just a way of him. He made a realistic looking crazy ad to drive the other guy crazy with phone calls all night. But the guy took it really well. He's like, yeah, it was an online fight. I guess the guy took it too far, but no, it's fine. It's good, whatever. So
That's pretty.
yeah,
That's like.
It's very
nothing bad really came
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh.
But I did at the end of the day. I did not get a Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. See, if you can't say it, then you shouldn't have it.
You say that, but for sure you would have one. Like that would not surprise me. It would not surprise me in the least if I came home and that was parked on our road somewhere. It would not surprise any of our neighbors either.
Weird stuff finds me, guys. You ask how I come across these old cars, and people call me up and they know that I like old cars. They know I like weird old cars. I just had another fellow write me, and he had 2 more Isettas for sale in Canada that he wanted to sell me. And they're kind of a rare car, but I've already got one. So anyway.
Really quickly, I was asked twice. Stephen does sell his drawings and he also commissions drawings. You can reach out at Archbold Vlogs, VLOGS, at outlook.com if there's something that you want, and I can pass that on to Stephen.
Yeah, or you can write Stephen through his Instagram or through his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
too.
on
It's,
Stephen Draws.
He'll draw you stuff, and he'll take your money and mail you stuff in
Yeah.
return.
And
That's
it's
how that
kinda-
works.
It's kind of
well, you'll have to check my YouTube channel to see what I do actually.
Oh, okay. First, before I get into, if you think I look like Brendan Fraser, somebody keeps saying you look like Brendan Fraser. That's what I was Brendan Fraser from The Mummy for Halloween. That's what I was, because people keep saying that all the time. But I don't think I do anyway. I think he was partly raised in Canada though, which is kind of funny because I'm partly raised in Canada. I'm fully raised in Canada. I'm gonna tell you a story before I get into the unfinished YouTube video series that I didn't complete, and I'm going to tell you what happened with that stuff. So the first thing that I see, Randy, he says Brendan Fraser is a neighbor of his. Well, if you run into Brendan Fraser, tell him that you watch a guy on YouTube that people think look like him, and we'll see what. Tell Brendan Fraser that I would love to chat with him. If he's your next door neighbor, just poke over the fence and go, hey, as he's mowing his lawn or whatever. You're like, hey, mummy guy. I'm sure you don't call him mummy guy. But if you do, that'd be awesome, by the way. If you're like, hey, did you call your mommy lately? And he'll be like, this is not funny. Like, I'm moving. But if you talk to him, say, hey, this Alex guy would love to have you on his YouTube channel. I would love to have Brendan Fraser on the channel. Wouldn't that be cool?
Heather
Anyway.
said that she's going to make up a crazy ad for you.
But Heather, what are you doing?
You know, like the fake car ad of the Wienermobile.
Yeah.
So you get a whole bunch of crazy calls.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you one weird car story, and I don't think I've shared it before. Somebody said that you should get a Citroen, or Citroën, depends on how you say it. And I don't know if I shared this before or not. You can stop me if I did. But I did have a Citroen DS. And if you're not familiar with what one model that is, it's a Citroen DS is a French car. And it's famous because the French president was in one. It has a really long kind of swoopy nose and glass covered headlights and the directional kind of headlights, but they had a really odd suspension in them that they worked independent of each other. Now, somebody was trying to kill the French president in the 1960s, and they shot off 2 of his tires, and it was still able to drive as normal on the 2 tires on either side that were still operational. Very, very interesting vehicle, kind of cool technology, very neat. So anyway, I thought these things were cool for a while. And somebody had one, and they asked if I was interested in buying it. And I said, sure. So they sold it to me for $100. That's what I paid for a Citroen DS, $100. Because it was a rust bucket, and I got it home thinking I could fix it. It was way too far gone. I did get it running though. So I put an ad on eBay or wherever it was, and I sold it. I don't even know what I got for it, but I sold it. And a guy calls me up. And if he watches this YouTube episode, please know that this is with the utmost respect and out of love and respect for your dedication to your eccentricities, because I aspire to such levels. But here's what happened. The guy buys the car, and I listed it, parts car, rusted out, will need to be towed. and he buys it.
Oh, I forgot about this.
You forgot about this,
I
right?
actually forgot.
So he calls me. He says, "Hi, I'm the guy that won your car. I'm phoning from, I don't know, Kentucky or wherever he was." And he said, "I'm gonna fly out there and I'm gonna drive it back." And I said, "You're awfully ambitious. That car cannot be driven back. There's no way that car can be driven. It's gonna fall in half if you try and drive it. It's that rusty." He's like, "Nah, I know these cars inside and out, and I'm gonna bring all the parts and I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna, I'll drive it back." So I said, "I hope you have a plan B because you won't be driving that car back." He said, "Well, I'm not renting a truck and trailer. I'm driving it back. You just watch and see." So he gets here, and he has a suitcase with a bunch of car parts in it. I don't think he brought any clothes or anything, just car parts. And I drive into my house, and it's running, right? Like I had it running from before. And he looks at it and goes, "Well, I can't drive that back." And I said, "I told you couldn't drive the car back. It's rusted in half." Like that was in the ad, pictures of giant rust holes, the frame missing. So he goes, "Huh, well, what are we gonna do now?" So I asked if he had a plan B. Did not have a plan B. He's like, "Well, we'll figure something out." So this is what I did. I found the fellow a cargo van with the tow hitch on the back for $500. It ran and drove. And then I found him a little car hauler trailer for another, I don't know, $600 that was like a homemade thing, but it had a plate on it, so hey, it worked. And he bought those. And then I took him to the registry's office so he could get a temporary plate, but he had to phone his insurance company. So I sat with him for an entire day, drove him to get a van, drove him to get a trailer, drove him to get insurance, arranged for a tow truck to come and put it on the back of the trailer. And I'm thinking, well, that was a lot of work. And so he heads off down the road, arm out the left-hand window waving, "See you later, I'm off to the border." And off he went. And so I don't hear from him for like a couple of days, and I just assume he probably had some kind of crazy adventure on the way there. And then I get a phone call from him, and he says, "Well, you're not going to believe what happened." I'm like, "Is it any crazier than what just did happen to..." The guy at the border says, "You're supposed to send in paperwork on this thing before you come to the border. You can't just drive across with the car you bought without paperwork and all this kind of stuff. You have to notify us." And it was going to be like 24 hours. So he went, "Huh." So what he did is he got out of the border at Sweetgrass, and he parked his van at a restaurant with the car in the back, and he walked across the border to Sweetgrass, Montana, which I don't know how far that is. It's probably pretty close. And he rented a U-Haul truck. And and so he rented a U-Haul and he drives it back into Canada. And I guess they said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just picking up some stuff I got on the other side of the border." And they're like, "Fine." So he drives over, he backs up to the trailer with the Citron, and he pushes it in the back of the U-Haul. But the U-Haul he rented is too short, so the whole front end of the car is hanging out the back end of it. And so then I don't know, he straps it in or does whatever he does. And then he walks inside the restaurant and he sells the trailers to some guy who was sitting there having a coffee for like $500. He almost got all his money back on the trailer. Good deal, right? But he couldn't find somebody to buy the van. So he heads back to wherever he lives. Let's call it Kentucky. I don't know where he is. And as a visual, imagine this guy looks kind of like Bill Clinton in the 1990s, but maybe like 5'7". Like the Tommy Bahama kind of shirt, the white hair slicked back, white running shoes. Ambitious guy. Anyway, so he gets back home, and I guess he got the car off and whatever. He figured it out. And I said, "Well, whatever happened to the van?" He said, "I don't know. I guess it's still sitting in the restaurant." So he just abandoned the van. They must have thought it was some drug deal gone bad, that there's like a cargo van, rusted out cargo van parked there. They probably were sweeping the parking lot for a body or evidence of a crime for weeks. Like, this is not normal. It was like, there's no plates on it. There's no evidence of an owner. They've talked to the guy, disappeared. So anyway, I'm sure that there was probably a big story that came out of that. So yeah, he said, "Well, if you want the van for like $300, you can have it if you can go get it." I'm like, "I'm not driving 4 hours to go get some rusty old cargo van." So whenever you think I'm crazy and eccentric, just remember there's that guy out there.
I mean, but that very well could have been us. Like,
oh yeah, we've done
story.
Things. I have done things. Yeah, that I will admit. Like I said, I aspire. And what did he do for a living? Any guesses on what the man did for a living?
I can't even remember.
You don't remember?
Well, while you guys guess, I'm gonna say goodnight right now.
Okay.
See you guys.
Good night,
Good
Steven.
night, Steven.
Good night.
Love you.
Make sure the kids brush their teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have been guessing while I was saying goodnight to my kid.
Oh, wait.
Tree trimmer? No, he was not a tree trimmer. He was not a lawyer, bartender. Getting closer with the bartender. So this fellow owned a distillery that distributed vodka all across the world.
Oh.
He was probably a very well-to-do
No,
fellow.
that was the guy for the Mercedes
No,
in the bush.
no, he had just wine that he sent us. This is different. This guy had he sold vodka and stuff, I guess, and he owned a distillery. And who says that you can't have fun? Just because you can have all the money in the world, you can go buy a rusted in half car for like $600 and go drive across the country in some rusted out van. You know, all kinds of different adventures can happen. But yeah, so he sent us some vodka and stuff, and he was super happy with it. And I don't know, people seem to send us bottles of alcohol when we sell them something. That guy sent us some of his vodka. I wish I remember what brand it was, but then you guys would know who he is, and maybe he doesn't want that story being out there. I'm sure enough detective work you can find. But we had a couple Mercedes 190 SLs that I pulled out of a bush a few years ago. And the guy that bought those in Portugal sent us some Portuguese wine, like a whole case of it, because they
I
had a
remember
winery.
being the vodka. And they
No.
also sent me a glass rooster.
The glass rooster was him, but anyway.
The Featherlight sewing machine that you showed, is it a hand crank model?
No, and the Featherlight sewing machine sold, sadly.
Well, not sad for us.
No, I mean, not necessarily sad for us. I'm just going to adjust this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I am going to tell you about the unfinished project. So, first things first, a Mercedes-Benz ambulance is not the same as the ambulance I'm driving right now. A lot of people say, wow, you sure did a good job restoring that Mercedes ambulance. Yeah, I restored it into a Pontiac. It's not the same car. I got the Mercedes-Benz home. Dave and I, Melissa's dad, Dave and I, Vigo, the Carpathian, the senior, and I were going to work on that Mercedes.
Dad's on right now, too.
Hey, Dave.
Dad.
Dave, I'm sorry to tell you this. Hey, on the plus side, Dave, they think you look like a powerful European man. The downside is that man is Vigo the Carpathian. So, we love you, but please don't come out of a painting and haunt our dreams. Anyway, hi, Dave. It's nice to see that you're on. Mercedes-Benz ambulance. Dave will attest because he's on right now and he can talk about it. Dave and I started taking the ambulance apart. It had a wood interior, like a wood floor, and we started taking it out so we could get to the metal to see what kind of shape the metal is in. When we took the wood off, there wasn't a floor. It was just, you could see the axle, and the floor was gone. And because I bought the car and it was in the bush, essentially, grass had grown up and I couldn't see the bottom part. So this is an important thing. If you're going to see half of a car, see the bottom half of it sometimes, maybe not the top half. I saw the bottom half of the car, and I didn't see the bottom half, that is, and it was rusted out. Anyway, we decided to scrap the project. I sold it on eBay, got my money back. I think I made like $100 on the deal. And I think it's since been, somebody said it was on Copart last time they looked online, it was sitting there, which is sad because it's a really rare and somewhat valuable vehicle if you can fix it. But I'm sure they looked at it and thought the same thing I did. Nope. So the Mercedes-Benz ambulance, our first big video, as you heard earlier, that went away. We couldn't afford to fix it. It was just too crazy. Passed on it, sold it, and then I went out and bought the Pontiac ambulance, which I drive to this day. And that's the one I took to the Potter's house that you see me in. When you see me driving an ambulance, it was an ambulance. It wasn't a hearse. It wasn't the Ghostbusters car in the movie. That's much different. It was an ambulance in British Columbia. And it was never really fully decommissioned. So when I got it, sirens worked, lights worked, everything worked on it. And somewhere, if you go back through our video series, you'll see the you'll see the video where I buy the ambulance. So Mercedes ambulance, sold it. Airstream trailer project. I did several videos, got it halfway polished, got the interior more or less done, and then it started to snow and winter hit. Now, a couple things happened. One, as I had a fellow show interest in the Airstream trailer, but it was really just for what I paid for it, so I wasn't going to make much money on it. But then I had a couple walk in and offer me an entire house for sale, but I didn't have the money. But if I sold the Airstream, I would have had just enough money to buy the house. So I didn't do a video of selling the Airstream because I sold the Airstream and used some of that money to buy the Potter's house. Good investment, ended up being an amazing adventure. Not sad about that at all. Race car. Another project Dave and I were working on. Dave, you're involved in a lot more videos than I think of when I start walking through some of these videos. You've been in or helped out with a lot of them. The Model A race car, Dave and I did a whole lot of work. We got the frame done. We got a rebuilt Model A engine in it. I got new rims and new tires for it. I took it to my friend Matt, but sadly he didn't have time to work on it, so it sat out there for about a year. I kind of just lost interest in it. It was in storage at the new store in the garage there. I needed space because I have a problem with cars, and somebody needed a motor and some wheels and stuff, and that it went. And sort of a sad ending to that. Other than that, I have got a lot of projects done over the past few years. More than, I think I got more accomplished last year than I did probably in the last 10 years of my life. That 1 year was a busy year. Never have I renovated a house, a store, several cars. Like all that happened in 12 months. And we're still married. She's still married to me.
I
Yeah.
have a couple of questions. I mean, there's been quite a few comments.
Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions now versus me just talking.
So one of them, firstly, I accidentally responded to the wrong person. But there's some people getting annoyed that their questions are not being answered. But first, I know the last name was Hurt, but he was the one that initially asked about the pocket bike. Is it for sale right now? Are you getting it fixed? Like, because he's interested in buying it.
Okay, the Go Devil, the Fuji Japanese Go Devil motorcycle, which is not necessarily a pocket bike, it would be called a pit bike because you would actually put those in the trunk of your car and take them to the racetrack or what have you, and it would be just a little get around, a small area kind of idea. That was, it is apparently a running bike. He says, I joked in the last video, he said it runs like a top, and I says, that means it spins in circles and then falls over after a while. And he went, ah ha ha, and I went, ah ha ha. But apparently it runs, it has gas in it. I haven't tried to start it. It is for sale. I'm asking $1,500 Canadian or best offer. That's like around, I don't know, $1,100 US or something like that. And it has the carry bag and the whole thing. So if you're interested, drop me a line. Somebody asked how much it weighs. Probably not a whole lot considering you can carry it on your shoulder, but it's probably still like an 80 or 90 pound thing or 100-pound thing. It's got weight to it.
It's a big backpack.
Yeah, it's like it's.
But how could he buy it if he's interested?
Oh, if you were interested in it, I would build a crate and take it.
No, does he just call you at the store?
Oh yeah, just call us at the store and we.
Just in case we lose your comment. Plus, once we see it on the comment, somebody will say, I really am interested, I want to buy it, and then there's no way for us to have contact information. It doesn't go anywhere.
The best bet if you see something that you like is to call me at the store or call Sean and he'll get in touch with me. Something like that can be shipped. You can actually ship it UPS or FedEx ground.
Yeah.
I've shipped heavier things. It weighs as much as probably like old cash register, lighter than that actually.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Or it weighs as much as maybe like I sent a slot machine out to the States not that long ago, and by the way, we do call it the States here. Somebody in the United States of America said, "Will you guys call it the States?" I'm like, "Yeah, we call you guys the States." I guess they don't. Some people haven't heard of that, but I sent it to the U.S. anyway.
The other thing was a few people were asking if we have a website or an eBay. We do have eBay, but most of the times if you see something on a video that Alexander shot, if you just write him or call him at the store, that's your best bet because we can just ship it out to you because we have such a high turnover of the items. We were sitting there taking pictures, editing, doing the description, but then it's already sold and then it's all that time just wasted. So we stopped doing that. Yeah, the online store.
Yeah, our first rendition of our website, which I don't even talk about that much because it's just an online business card at this point.
It doesn't work for what we have because it's just when people see it, they might buy it, trade, whatever happens to it. It was just too much work between emails, YouTube, life, and then constantly updating that store was a full-time job in itself. So best bet, if you see something, call the store, talk to Alexander or Sean, and then we can see if we still have it or if we can find something for you, right?
Oh, and Hannah's saying she doesn't know how many times she thought about calling the store. Hannah, people do call the store just to say hi sometimes too. The store is, and I'm grateful for this, the store is very busy. So sometimes I can't talk for too long, and not because I'm being rude, but I might have customers standing at the till waiting for me because when I'm at the store, I'm running the store. I am working the till, I'm putting stock out, I'm packing up parcels to get mailed out. So I've got a lot going on, but if you do want to call in, I'm generally there Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 11 to 5 Mountain Time. So you can definitely give us a call. So yeah, if you're interested in something, we are gonna get back to you. Somebody said, what happened with the book that you found? I guess you're talking about the historic book from Ireland from the 1700s with all the great captain's notes and logs. I still own it. I'm trying to, if you've ever tried to sell something through like a big auction house, like a Sotheby's or what have you, they are really slow to get back to you. Like they probably know that they're the only place, so they really take their time. I have called twice now. They're like, oh yes, we may be interested. We'll get back in touch. And then you never hear anything. But it's not like they've said no. They're just really slow. Like if I ran my business like that and took 7 months to get back in touch with somebody, well, mind you, some of you are probably watching and saying, Alex, that's exactly how you run your business. Anyway.
And of course you can write letters. We love getting letters from you guys.
Yeah, we had one from Ireland come today too.
Was that Ireland?
Yeah.
The card? And somebody sent us a little, this is from today, a little Chewy ornament. But I don't have the, do you want to check your, what we're at first?
I can't check what I'm at because we're on the phone and the iPad.
I can check on here.
But you guys can't even see. This is my dad's guitar, by the way.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew. Are back here.
Maybe what I'll do is I won't do the song just yet. Maybe I'll do the song at the very end. I will
check?
sign off with the song. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'm going to sign off with the song.
These guys shows.
If it says 288,000 subscribers, Mike, that means I lost a whole lot of subscribers. we should be at 299.9.
Well, we only see
something.
299K on ours.
Well, no,
It's on, I mean on yours.
when I sign in, it says we're talking about subscriber count right now. 299,957 was the last check. That was before we started. So I only needed about another 40 or so subscribers, and then we'd be there essentially.
Thanks,
So
Matthew.
we'll get there. Hopefully I'm thinking by the time we're done chatting here, or when I wake up in the morning, it's going to be 300,000. So.
Well, we had the choice to do this live feed tomorrow, but we thought, what happens if it goes to 300,000 tonight? Then we wanted you guys to be a part of it. If it goes while we're sleeping, then you'll still be a part of it because you're part of it. You're part of the subscribers.
Now I just want you to talk so I can keep playing.
Well, I can't hear anything anyways because you're playing right there.
Oh. Herbert says just unsub. Well, that makes me sad.
Herbert.
Well, Herbert.
20 million.
And now look, all we're doing is talking about Herbert now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's all right. We still love you, Herbert.
So this let's see. The channel, I guess I'll talk about what's happening before we sign off and say goodnight.
I said just resub. See, I knew.
Did he just resub?
Yeah, he said just resub.
Oh, thanks, Herbert. All I had to do is say his name.
Don't play with our emotions, Herbert.
I would have been bummed out, legitimately bummed out.
Jeez,
have we ever? Okay, let's answer a few questions.
Okay. Have you ever been to Australia?
No.
No.
There's people with my last name there.
I think Australia sounds awesome. I think the only thing is that I absolutely am terrified of flying. I mean, once you're on, you're on. I'm not getting off.
Somebody said, have you heard of the Isetta escape story? Yes. And for a period of time, people were being smuggled out of East Germany into West Germany over the border in a BMW Isetta. How did you do it, you might ask? They had hollowed out part of the engine bay area, and people were climbing up and hiding in the undercarriage. And because it's such a tiny car, when the guy pulled up to the border, they never assumed that there'd be another human being hiding in there, because where would they go, right? So they smuggled quite a few people across the border that way. In fact, it's that BMW Isetta is in a museum in Germany. If you're unfamiliar with it, then look it up. It's really, really cool. Let's see. My mom lived in Christchurch, New Zealand when she was a little girl. She's not from New Zealand. She was a Canadian and then they went there. Let's see, do I write music? Yes, I have a couple songs that I put up on YouTube, and I have a whole bunch more that I haven't recorded. But mainly when I do these videos, I thought it would be, I'd start off just kind of getting my feet wet by playing other songs and getting used to playing, because honestly, up until this past year, I never played in front of anybody. In fact, my dad had never really heard me sing and play the guitar. I was always too shy to sing in front of people. And it was only once in a while I would play here, but I would kind of not stretch my vocal cords out and not really try. But
one person said, "Ich bin aus Deutschland." I thought it was.
I'm from Deutschland. We've been in Germany. We
yeah.
visited Germany. We've visited a lot of your places.
Have we ever been to Vancouver Island?
Hey, yeah, we've been to Vancouver Island. Who's on right now from Vancouver Island?
Oh wait, let's see. Dave James.
Dave, how do we know it's not, Meghan Markle or Prince Harry, for the formerly known as Prince Harry?
Is your sister on? She was on.
Heather was on a little while ago.
What part of Deutschland did we go to?
We went to the Deutschiest part of Deutschland. That's where we
We
went.
did a tour, so we went to like Frankfurt and Liechtenstein.
We were in Bavaria. We drove past the BMW factory. We were all over the place there. We went to
Switzerland.
the big castle. What
That
was
was
its
a while
name?
ago.
That was a long time ago. We were overdue for
Oh,
another
but
European
that's in
trip.
Vienna, the castle, right?
Yeah.
They had like the spring castle and summer castle. Or...
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
Yeah, we almost named Abigail's middle name was going to be Vienna because we liked it so much, or Wien, but
Yeah.
her middle name was going to be Vienna.
Vienna.
Heather's still here. There's Heather.
Okay.
I missed her. Oh, she said, I'm on.
We are going to answer a few more questions here. Oh, Melissa, when's your next vlog? Really, Lisa, I don't know what you sound like, but this is how I imagine you said it. Melissa, when's your next vlog? Really missed them.
You should be like,
Is that
get on
accurate?
it, girl.
Melissa is taking three college courses while being a mom, getting the kids ready for school, and she's a trooper. She's busy nonstop.
And I have two jobs.
She has 2 jobs.
But you know what?
Yeah.
The truth is that I have footage. I just have to edit it, you guys. I just have to edit it. After today, after this, I have I don't know if you guys know what I don't even know what it is. It's like a big report that shows why I would make a good teacher. Oh, I'm terrible at writing.
Somebody asked what my
Why
favorite
would you
find was. Sometimes my favorite finds are the things that are very unexpected. For me, when I, like recently, buying the collection of bottles, let's say, from Lady that ended up going to Bob, the bottle man, but she also had a couple pictures that were really early pictures from our area, original photos from over 100 years ago that really tell the story, that weave the tapestry that is our hometown. And I think finding historic items that have been lost or had been thrown out or missing, they might not have a high monetary value, but I think that when you get to save something or get to really relive that history or hold something that somebody held 100 years ago in your hands again, I think that's really unique. But most of the finds for me that have been of most interest has nothing to do with money or anything. It has to do with recovering something that was lost. And when I look at the Potter's House series that we did, Dave, I said the right answer was Melissa before. Trust me.
And it is portfolio. You're right. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. When we did the Potter's House series, I think the best thing that came out of that thing was for me to get to know Mary and to get her story out there. So at first, it's in the first few videos, I'm keeping her identity sort of hidden because I wanted to make sure that I was respectful, and she was a fairly well-known artist, and perhaps maybe she didn't want people to know that her house had become kind of messy, let's say, and I wanted to respect that. But I didn't push it and wasn't going to tell anybody who she was until Mary herself, about a couple months before she passed, said, if you would like to interview me, I'd be okay with that. And so once she was okay with being interviewed, that's when it kind of went from being the We Bought a Hoarder's House to the Potter's House. And I went and I renamed the series because it wasn't really about making a YouTube series. It was about saving Mary's legacy and saving her artifacts and all of that artwork that would have been lost. And all of those historic pieces and the other art from other artists that she'd collected would have been lost. And her poetry, that I had to dig through hundreds of boxes of garbage to find one poem written on the back of something. And Teresa, if you're watching, one of our viewers, went through and digitized a lot of those for me so we could actually get them into print format. So some of you were asking earlier, I was talking about a book before, and this isn't a segue for me to talk to you about this book, but I'm answering questions, and so that's why I'm leading here. What I did before we sold a lot of the pottery that came out of the house, and as you know, we took a lot of the pottery and we split the profits with her children. I'm glad that we're able to do that. But I took really nice pictures of a lot of her art that she did and artwork that was found in the house. And took professional sort of backlit, white backdrop pictures, and we did sort of a coffee table book. So if you bought something from the Potter's House and we shipped it to you, odds are I probably have a picture of it in that book because I went to great lengths to photograph everything quite nicely before it all went to auction. So now everything is there, and we took quite a number of her poems and quite a number of her memories and pieces and put them in there to really compile it, make it a story about Mary. It's not a story about how I bought a house. I mean, I think that's in the intro, is that this is how I came upon the place. But the book is really about her, and you get a sense of what she was and what she was interested in, and remarkable lady, remarkable lady. So that will be coming out. I believe it's going to be on Amazon after the 20th. They're printing this month, and we'll have, I think, some copies in store as well. So that will be later this month. That book will be out. So very, very exciting. We're excited to hear about it.
Thank you, Stacy. And also, she said, "Hey, you," and also Autumn Falls musical request. Oscar Mayer song, please.
The "Oh, I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener."
Well, that's not even the tune.
Isn't it?
No,
How's it go then?
no.
Oh, I almost got her to sing. Maybe if I just sing songs really wrong, she'll send them correctly for me. Like, "Happy birthday to you," and she'll be like, "That's not how it goes." "Happy birthday to you," and she'll be like, No, it goes like this." You will sing "Happy Birthday" though, won't you?
Not on camera.
Oh, but you'll sing it when it's somebody's birthday.
Yeah, because it's a birthday.
Oh, so she
Well,
does
you
sing
guys,
to me.
there's a difference
Aw.
between doing your teacher singing, like how you would sing to kids, and how you sing like you're pretending you're on, like, America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I thought I was singing the right song. Somebody said it was the song, the Oscar Mayer song.
That's not the tune though. The song, I'll whistle it, and then you guys can see my whistle lips.
No, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's more like, yeah, it's kind of like a baseball kind of. Yeah.
Same.
It reminds me of something that you'd play at the baseball diamond. Nothing like getting a hot dog at a ballpark.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been to a baseball game. Okay.
Whoops.
I am not. Oh, so somebody's asking, are you going to digitize the journal? Not planning on digitizing it, no, because if it ends up, I may find possibly a university or somebody of that nature that might want to maintain its history and do that. And they'll probably want to do that archival process themselves. So if it's already out there in the world, it will have probably no value because they'll be like, well, that's what we were going to do with it. So now we're not saving it. It's already out there. It was a really amazing book, though. And I'm surprised. I would like to sell the book because if we sell it, it would help out with the renovations we're planning on our building. But anyway.
So I have Delilah, happy birthday.
We have somebody asking, will your mom's beautiful artwork at the Potter's House be in your book? There is a little picture of my mom's picture in the book, yes.
I bought a shirt in a bag with that picture.
Oh, my
Yeah,
mom
she
would
did
be
a
proud
good
to do
job.
that. She did a
And that
watercolor
picture of
house.
Mary is at the store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a picture at the store.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna talk about the. Am I talking about what's coming next, and then we'll log off after? Well, maybe we'll answer a couple questions later on too, but.
Wait, really quickly, the Colorado Springs meetup. Somebody said that they live right by there. They want to. Don't you worry. I saw your comment 3 times. But when is it? Do you remember? Is it the 21st?
It's on my Facebook page. Heather, perhaps you can enlighten us. If you go on my Facebook page, you will see at the very top of the Curiosity Incorporated Facebook page. It's there, and it says where it is and what time and all that good stuff.
Pretty sure it's like 3 p.m. the 21st, but
Yeah.
I might be completely off.
Melissa, what is your other job? What are your 2 jobs?
Well, I teach preschool, and then I also work lunch supervision at the elementary school, as well as here and YouTube when I get to it. Poor YouTube.
Matthew, you are ridiculous in all the good ways.
Yep.
I don't know how, are you a wizard? Matthew might be an actual wizard. Like, I'm not just
We're
saying like,
impressed.
wow, he's a wizard. I think he might really be a
He
wizard.
said he'd be scared to call the store. Like when you said when it might be hard to get a hold of you if you're busy. He said I'd be scared to try to call the store.
He
You
could
should
just,
for sure call the store, Matthew.
Matthew could probably just speak to me through telepathy, or he'll appear as a hovering Matthew head in the corner of the room. Hello, Alex. I am your moderator.
You know what? Not only that, I was on another vlog today, or no, yesterday I think. And guess who was there? Matthew was on there as a moderator there too. You're everywhere.
We need a 3-dimensional glowing floating Matthew head floating in the corner that can just talk. The all-knowing moderator.
And every once in a while you can be like, no.
Somebody's asking how Hans is doing. Hans is doing great. Hans is doing better than a lot of people now. He's doing good. He's looking good. He's healthy. He's laughing. He's in town working right now. Actually, one of our viewers in our area in Edmonton hired him to work renovating the house. And I saw the pictures. It was doing complete basement renovation and doing upstairs. So it's a big job. He's been in town for several weeks just working his buns off. And Zenovia's been helping too. And the two of them just seem happy as clams. Nothing's made me more happy, I think, than just seeing how lovely Adam and Hans have been doing. You know, the one thing that it always, I don't know, I won't get into it. It's,
Well, now I'm curious.
well, I work with homeless children and homeless kids, and I've worked with youth, and you know, you're there to tell them what the tools are. This is where you go to get a coffee. This is where you go to get a shirt. But there's not as much support for finding out why a person is in the situation they're in and actually doing something about it. And that drives me nuts. And I just wish I could, you know, a lot of me wants to do more down the road. You know, talking to Adam and finding out, you know, the circumstance and where he was, and he just worked so hard. And Adam, if you watch this later on, I'm so very proud of all the work that you've done. And your posts on Facebook make me so happy to see that he's inventing plaster casts for doing lighting in ceilings, and just how excellent he's doing, and what an outstanding, kind, and humble man he is. And so glad that he came into my life. I'm grateful for you, Adam, for coming into my life, to have the opportunity to have met such a fine person as yourself. And for Hans, for being so wonderful and joking and happy. And for Hans didn't have a say. Adam, I asked for permission to do GoFundMe for him. Hans didn't have a choice. I told him after the fact. I'm like, we're going house shopping. He's like, what? Like, what? Hans, we're going house shopping. What are you talking about? And I'm like, we're gonna go get you a house. And he's like, it was just silence. And then somebody else picked up the phone, and there was tears, and it was just probably the two of the most amazing moments in my life. So very, very grateful for both of those men. And Hans is a regular part of my life. If Adam was still living here, he moved back home where he was from, and he's doing well out there. If Adam was here, I'm sure I would have had him helping out and when we're fixing up buildings and stuff. But the wonderful people I've been able to meet doing this channel, and you know, talented artists like Josh, and wonderful, lovely people like his brother Dakota, and just encouraging all the people around us. I think if everybody took the time to meet some of the people in your community and get to know the people in your community, look past sometimes the circumstance that they're in, there are a lot of wonderful stories, and sometimes we can come together as a group and do wonderful things, and I think we were able to do that a couple times.
I think a lot of times we know that something's wrong, and that we have the opportunity to make something right in somebody's lives if we can. And we're lucky that we have this platform, because you guys all helped us so much to help other people.
I couldn't
And there's
sleep,
so many,
yeah.
I noticed that there's like I mean, we travel around, not even just on our channel, but to other channels, and help out so many people. I mean, it really has become a amazing community.
Yeah, there's a lot of lovely people that are on our channel. Many of the viewers out there, such as yourselves, are fantastic people. And whenever I've had a chance to go out to Meetup and meet, you're just the most, if we do a Meetup at a restaurant, the folks that come and come to the Meetup, you are the nicest, most lovely people in that whole place. and I'm grateful for the community that we have created. I'm grateful for all the people who've decided to stick with us and watch us. Essentially just, we're a couple with 3 kids that I decided to leave my job and really just try and do what I wanted to do and love my life more fully. And I think losing my dad and some of those other events really led to me wanting to do this. My dad was alive when we were doing this, but his health was really failing. And I think you start getting perspective of just how short life is. And if you don't take those opportunities to do things you love, you're gonna miss out on it. And it just drives me crazy, because there's so many people I meet that are saying, well, one day when I retire, I'll do this, or when I retire. Well, go do things now. Go live your life now. Yeah. And yes, you have to have a job, but you can fill your life full of wonderful, fun things. You don't have to wait. You can get off your butt and you can accomplish a lot.
That's just your brain trying to keep you safe, and sometimes safe isn't the best bet.
I always tease Melissa. I say there's a difference between living and surviving. And a lot of people survive, but they don't necessarily live.
He says that because I don't like when he drives too fast
Well,
on the ice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to kill us.
I want to survive.
I just want, if anything, if I can get anything to come out of this channel, what is this channel? It's about, it's not about me. I'm doing stuff. I want you guys to go out there and live your lives fully. And if you have a dream, to go follow it. If you have things you want to do, go try it. You know, at some point, we come to a realization. One is that we can't take anything with us. There's no moving truck in a funeral procession. You can't take all this stuff with us. And secondly, trust me, a lot of you guys, your kids ain't gonna want it. I run into people all the time whose parents have passed away and none of the kids want any of the parent stuff. So it's only sentimental to us. So if we think we're saving this stuff for someone else, there's no point. No, you know, unless you're starting a museum and it's for posterity or something, enjoy your lives. If these things that we collect bring us, if it makes us happy, for me, people always ask, what do you collect? I obviously like old cars, but I don't, people say, oh, I can't believe you'd sell this or sell that. It's just a thing. I can replace it with another thing. But the memory of finding something or meeting the people or going on that adventure, that's my hobby. My hobby is going on adventures and my hobby is getting out there. So live your life. Don't get caught up in things. You know, I'm saying this as a person who sells stuff for a living. But at the end of the day, I also buy a lot of stuff from people who have passed away. My role in history is kind of, you know, I find it at certain points important because my role is to take that piece of garbage that somebody might have thrown away and dig it out of the bottom and bring it back to light and say, this is something special. This needs to be saved. And a lot of stuff goes to the dump. Everything in Mary's house was destined for the dump. Everything in it was destined for the trash or was going to be burnt.
Well, they were just gonna.
Well, Lyle wanted to burn it down, which would have been a crazy, like, year-long tire fire. But they thought, well, it was just too overwhelming. And I can understand it. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Even just going through the small amount of stuff my dad had was overwhelming. And going into a house like that, I can understand. You just want to walk away. There's bad memories involved. There's all sorts of, you know, you don't want to be involved in it.
And it's just stuff. And it's important that, like, the things that you have, if they bring you joy, it's just for you. Enjoy it, but also enjoy your life.
Enjoy your lives.
Yeah.
But I love what I do because archaeologists get to dig stuff up and then it goes in a drawer at a museum. I get to dig stuff up and I get to show you guys and then I get to find somebody who's going to be the next great caretaker for that thing. And that's all we are as collectors, and I posted this on my Facebook page before, but we are the caretakers of our past. We're the caretakers of history. And when you have a passion for what things were and what led us to where we are, if you care about history and you care about you know, learning about the past helps lead us to our future. You can't move forward without understanding what led us here because I can't remember the quote right now, but you have a risk of repeating the past if you don't understand it. But that's what we're about, you know. So we're here trying to find stuff. My hobby is to go out and try and find these amazing things and go dig it up and get it back out there. And so somebody's asking again what happened to the 1700s book. It's in my room right now, and I'm trying to find the best next caretaker for it. That will help, you know, keep it for posterity and so it won't get lost and put it at a garage sale like it almost was before. Actually, it wasn't almost at a garage sale. I believe it was at a garage sale. So yes. Oh, thank you. Those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Thank you. And when you look back through history, you see a lot of similarities and it's crazy.
Your Facebook page is just Curiosity Inc., isn't it?
Curiosity Incorporated on Facebook.
Incorporated.
I think it's the full Incorporated. So we've really enjoyed the past couple of years here, and I know that I'm planning on going on more adventures, and I'm planning on doing this for a little while. So this is where I'll talk about what's happening now and what's going to be happening in the future, and then we'll kind of wind down this chat because it's been over an hour already, but hey, what the heck. So a couple fun things happened today. One is the Alfa Romeo runs and the Alfa Romeo drives. And I am driving the Alfa Romeo tomorrow to the shop to get the headlights fixed. A couple of things that I couldn't figure out on my own. I think I know what it is, but they got to order the parts.
Driving or pushing.
I will be driving it. That Alfa Romeo is a real car again. It's no longer a barn find sitting for 30-year kind of thing. I'm driving it. Tomorrow morning, I'm driving that car downtown.
That's the farthest it's driven. And how long though?
It's the farthest it's driven under its own power in like 30 years. It hasn't driven under its own power since 1986.
You might have to cut a hole and Flintstone it, like with your feet.
No. And luckily, nature didn't cut a hole in that floor and Flintstone it on its own.
It looks really good. I saw it drive.
Yeah. So I'm driving the Alfa Romeo tomorrow for the first time. Also, we are going to be bringing the Rolls Royce home tomorrow because I went to go drop off the windshield, and I was joking earlier about putting stupid stuff in my car. I had the windshield for the Rolls Royce in the trunk of the Cadillac, and it was hanging out, and I had like cloths over so it didn't chip the paint, and it was
Oh my
strapped down.
gosh.
So I looked like the Jed Clampett with all the stuff strapped onto the vehicle. That was me with the Cadillac today. So I pull into the lot of the paint shop, and I see them. This is the moment. I wish I had the cameras rolling because I am driving the windshield up in hoping that eventually they'll get the car painted. And what do I see? But the door open majestically and the light peer out, and I see 4 guys start pushing the Rolls Royce out into the daylight because it's not driving yet. And it was painted and it's done. So the car looks really good, and I'm going to be sharing with you on a video coming soon. Once the car comes home, I'll really start making progress on getting it reassembled. So Rolls Royce is coming home. Alfa Romeo is turning into a real car again, and I'm driving the darn thing tomorrow. I fixed a whole car in the time that my Rolls Royce was getting painted. I bought another barn find and fixed it, and now driving it. That's what happened. That's what's called using your downtime effectively. So that is done. I met with the draftsperson today, and we've got plans and blueprints done up for a potential addition on the side of our building. That video is going to be coming soon, and then I start the process for looking at the next series of construction, which will have back our friends Hans, and we'll have Josh and Jakota, hopefully, if they're not too busy, and we're going to get really creative and build another little space. All sorts of wonderful, fun things are going to be happening. Road trips, adventures, magnet fishing is going to happen. I'm going to go digging up some old sites with some friends that told me where there's some cool historic dump sites. I'm going to be metal detecting the yard at the store. I've got a whole year of stuff planned out that's going to be really fun
He
and
says
exciting.
like it's a whole year, but this is like Alexander's week that he just listed off. Like,
Ah,
I'm not joking. You guys know too.
ain't she a hoot?
It's true. That's
Say it, friends. Follow along on Curiosity Inc. as we go on more adventures. What will we be doing? Well, we'll be digging up garbage. Watch us dig through old people's garbage. That's right, garbage that was thrown away years ago. Their garbage is different than ours. Very exciting stuff.
Good night, Susie.
But, well, we're not signing off yet.
No,
Susie
no,
is.
Susie.
But that said, we will sign off very soon. So I am going to play a Michael Carr and Jimmy Kennedy song that was recorded by Patsy Cline. And I don't, to be honest with you folks, I don't know this song off by heart, so I'm probably going to screw up a little bit here. So you're just going to have to bear with me while I try and get the chord changes down right. And if I screw up, well, hey, this is life.
I'll try to keep up with questions on here.
Okay. South of the border, down Mexico way. That's where they fell in love when stars above came out to play. Now as they wander, their thoughts ever stray. South of the border, down Mexico way. She was a picture in old Spanish lace. Just for a tender while he kissed the smile upon her face. For it was fiesta, and they were so gay. South of the border, down Mexico way. Then she sighed as she whispered mañana, never dreaming that they were parting. And he lied as he whispered mañana, for that tomorrow never came. South of the border, he rode back one day. There in a veil of white by candlelight, she knelt to pray. The mission bells told him he mustn't stay. South of the border, down Mexico way. Aye, 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 aye. Aye, 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 aye. Aye, 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 aye. Aye, aye. Okay, I I've got to practice that way more.
So he said, Melissa, join in.
Yeah.
With whistling. So Ann Skate said, I hope you like the tiles, Melissa. Is that the one that I have?
Yep.
Alexander came home and he said, somebody made this for you. Like, it's beautiful. And then he didn't have the name. I'm like, how am I supposed to say thank you? Thank you so much. It's amazing. I'm glad you said something and I saw it.
It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sounds. Okay, I'm not going to keep playing over and over again. Anyway, I'll practice that. South of the Border, that's the first time I've ever played that song, so I will, I'll practice that more. But for the first time I played it, I got the chord changes more or less right, more or less.
They're giving you clap hands.
Appreciated. So I will work on trying to fine tune the singing and the all that good stuff at some point. But
A lot of people are asking about a update on the warehouse sale.
go buy more every week. We are selling that stuff.
Everything's not done yet. But
It's not, we're not doing that stuff for us.
No.
We're doing that to help a bunch of other people out who we're not really talking about because we're just doing it on the down low, but we are selling off a bunch of stuff and we're giving the money to help a bunch of people in our lives. So, yes, all the stuff in the warehouse is actually more or less sold. There's a little bit left. We've got a few more sales to go. Every weekend at kauctions.ca, you can log in. If you see toys on there, essentially there's stuff. In fact, this weekend, there's a bunch of my stuff from my store, like antiques and stuff that's going through the sale. And they ship anywhere. Apparently, they have they've lowered their shipping costs because they weren't aware that they had a deal on shipping and then the deal changed and they weren't aware and then the shipping was expensive. And some of you guys wrote and they're like, we won't buy from that Kastner anymore. Shipping was crazy nuts. And then Kastner was like, whoa, we didn't know, so we're gonna fix it. So apparently they fixed it and the shipping prices are much better. So yeah, anyway, there's lots more stuff going up for sale. Let's see, I'll try and answer a few more questions and we're gonna log off in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do the 5-minute countdown here before we log off completely.
Where I just saw it.
Okay, let's see. Have you been able
So
to unload
there are-
warehouse stuff? Okay, yeah, it's still going. Yeah, the warehouse stuff is just about all gone.
I saw it.
Thank you for subscribing to those that have.
We only need another 40. I have 40 something of you guys to subscribe.
Is that where we're at right now?
I have no clue. I'm guessing. Let me
40, yeah, we were at 40 people when we started, so who knows, we might be there. Or maybe we lost a bunch of people because they heard me sing. Either way, you never know.
I don't think so.
So I'll answer a few more questions here before we log off. And I appreciate you guys sticking with us right till the end too. There's an awful lot of you guys still on. Want to buy the blue Cadillac. You know, here's the thing. Oh, wait, I got to go back and think. Who was that? Nick, thank you so much. Thank you. Somebody said, would you sell the Cadillac? I was thinking about it because this is what I was going to do. I was going to sell my Cadillac. I was going to go buy Melissa a newer vehicle than what she has and give her that vehicle. And then I would take her old one. But she's happy with hers and she doesn't want me to do that. So I guess I'm driving the Cadillac for a while.
Well,
She's happy with hers.
yeah, I'm happy with mine. Plus,
There's really
I'm
nothing
thinking-
wrong with it. I just thought I'd get her something newer. And I thought, well, I've got all these old cars and maybe I should sell. If I sold the Cadillac, I'd have the money to put towards getting her something newer.
if I was going to trade my car in for something else, it would have to be better than what I have.
Yeah.
Newer.
She's just fussy,
Yeah.
I guess. Potter's house is rented. Apparently the furnace quit today. I was dealing with that just before the live chat.
Don't sell the caddy.
Yeah. If you're asking what specific Hot Wheel cars I have, there's 3,000 of them. I have not gone through them all, but I'm guessing whatever you're looking for is probably in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
When you're on film, for some reason it makes your face look nicer. I mean your skin, your face. Not always our face, because they said, do we have a diffusion filter?
No, it's just a
No.
light. It's just a
Oh
light
yeah,
bulb.
right, I forgot we had the...
Okay, so Austin is on right now. Hi, Austin.
Hi, Austin.
Let's see. How are you? Oh, she's in Sweden. Hello in Sweden. We've used your Allen Keys building furniture before. This famous, I don't know if Sweden's more famous for this Burton Swedish chef. I'm sure you guys don't have chefs like, well, maybe you do. I've never been to Sweden. When I think of Sweden, I now think more of IKEA. Swedish meatballs comes to mind. Melissa's car is a Volvo. That's Swedish. Swedish people make really good cars, I have to say.
Yeah, my vehicle has been amazing.
I was a full-on Volvo guy for a while. like vintage Volvos. I drove a 544 and a 123 and a 122 and you name it. I had every kind of old Volvo there was, and I drove them year round. And now, you know, I'm trying to find a 122 wagon, like it's called an Amazon. It's a Volvo 122 wagon. Looks kind of like a 56 Chrysler. I want one of those to drive. And you think I could find one? Can't find one. So they're not super valuable, but they're not apparently for sale in Canada. Can't seem to find one anywhere.
Snowy Manitoba. It's coming our way, Snowy Manitoba.
Porsche 944, yeah. Well, that's a much better car than the 24. I never had a front engine Porsche before, or Porsche, some would say. Hans is doing very well. Let's see. Answering the last few questions here, and then we're going to log off.
Hi, Shania.
Yeah. So trying to get some new suppliers, trying to work on building a new addition on the store, because if you guys hadn't noticed, the store is really full. It was full at the last store, and I'm like, I need a bigger store, and then I got a bigger store, and guess what happened? I need an even bigger store. But we have land now. We've got land, and maybe I'll strike oil. But that would probably just mean that I'd hit some underground oil pipe. And they'd be like, that's not yours. You don't get to keep that oil. It's like, first off, what are you doing shooting at food for in your yard?
You imagined it shooting? I thought you meant you were going to be digging.
No, I want to Jed Clampett us, Rich.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to make it Rich Jed Clampett style. I'm going to go around with a shotgun shooting at the ground. What's that idiot doing out there? Well, I'm looking for oil. And then blub, blub, blub.
It only takes to a certain part of every one of our videos where Alexander starts.
Next thing you know, we've got a cement, we'll have a cement pond in the backyard. Paul, cement pond. Okay, I am apparently much older than I think I am. If you guys are getting these references, you've either seen reruns or watched the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, so I will go, I'm gonna go dig in my yard. I'm gonna go look for all kinds of cool stuff.
Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram at Curiosity Inc. YEG, why not? And YEG stands for the Edmonton Airport Code. Every airport has a 3-letter code typically that designates what it is. Ours is YEG. Around Edmonton, you see restaurants that are called like Yeg Food or Yeg this or Yeg that. That's just our airport code. It's kind of a colloquial thing. Mine is Curiosity Inc., YEG, because guess what? Somebody else had Curiosity Inc. and Curiosity Incorporated, and so that's what I took. Let's see. My mind goes off on tangents all the time. This is a real issue. So on that note, and on the note of the Beverly Hillbillies, and I really just wanted to give a big shout out and a big thank you. Also, there's been an awful lot of comments today. I'm going to try going back through, but I'm going to go back through the comments, and whoever the 100th comment was is going to receive a free copy of our book. So I'm going to go back through the comments. I'm going to look at whoever the 100th comment was, whatever that is. And I didn't mention it at the top because then people would have been like maybe putting their name in a whole bunch of times.
And it's different for us than it is for you. So for us, when we look on, it shows it in order. When you look on your channel, when you're watching us, it'll show it in the most popular comments. It puts it in that order.
Yeah, we're going to sort it in order of time. So the 100th person is going to get a free copy of our Table Talk book. But we should have done like and what do they win? And you could have Vanna Whited the copy of the book. You could have been like, guess what, folks? They're going to win this lucky, wonderful tabletop book outlining the adventures of the Potter's House. And actually, it's pretty much just a lot of photos of Mary's amazing pottery and artwork. And it was really done to honor her.
Yeah.
Promise that I made to Mary was to get that book out there and done. Now, it took me a whole year working with the publisher to get it out there, but it's finally happening. So I might not have a copy to ship to you for another week or two, but whoever you are, number 100, you're getting a book. So I don't know how I'm going to contact you.
Oh, right.
Maybe what I'll do is I will post the winner on our Facebook page. And that person, please PM me or contact me, and we'll make sure we get your information to send you out a book. So
if that person doesn't contact you within a week, would you just go on to number 1?
Yeah, I guess if you don't contact me within a few days, probably, because they're watching right now or they would have been watching earlier. So we'll post it on Facebook, and we'll get that up there. So congratulations to whoever won. We'll redraw again, you know, and find a winner for a copy if they don't claim it. So thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you watching today. Follow your dreams, have fun, enjoy life, and yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching us all this time. So thanks again. Have a wonderful night, and I guess bye for now.
Take care, you guys.
Bye.